Hi there, welcome, it's Anna here, and I'm here with a flip through. A flip through of my autumn journal that I have been working on totally off camera. And it's a surprise. This is a bag, paper bag, that will come with it, and this will be stuffed. It's not stuffed now because I just found it, but I will stuff it with some ephemera to go with the journal. And this is the journal. It is a lovely book about mushrooms, or was a book about mushrooms, published in 1917, and I have had it on my shelf. Look at this, for years, and I have never used it. This is all I have done to the cover. I have added a small collage there with a mushroom and a label, and the rest is intact. I have reinforced it from the inside and out because it was a bit, as you can see, it's worn and used, this book. So but now it's still nice and reinforced. This is as I said, an autumn style book journal, and it is 9 inches by 6 inches. It has a spine that is 1 inch. I have sewn the 7 signatures in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. It has a hidden hollow back spine, as you can see. And yeah, let's get into it. I just love this cover. It is so beautiful. And yeah, so as end papers, this time I have chosen to use Edith Holland papers, and I am calling this journal October, mainly because I'm working on it. It's finished in October, and I've had a quote in my head the whole time from Anne of Green Gables, very famous. I'm glad I live in a world where there is Octobers. So, or there are Octobers. Well, anyway, I have used Edith Holland as end papers. This is the original first page. I have done a bit of collaging here with some leaves I cut out of a book. I have done a bit of watercolor swatches there on an old book page and a label, and here it says 1917, which is the publication year. I didn't say 152 pages, so it's not a big book, but it's a lovely book. Another small collage with Tim Holtz tissue paper and a little Joe, I think his name. And we have, this is from an Edith Holland birthday book. It says October, and you can journal all over this. We have some notebook paper. This is what's that called in English? This one. Jung in Swedish, and in English it is, it will come to me. Anyway, it's a plate that is stuck to the book page, and I let it go in with this. It says Ling, Heather, that's the word. Okay, Heather. It was in English, so well, I could just read. Here I have made a pocket out of scrapbooking paper and a little fussy cut squirrel and a label, and I have sewn around it. Inside is a to-do list that is coffee dyed, and you can journal on that. We have some, that was the center of that signature, right? We have the rest of the Edith Holland October pages. Here on this tea-dye paper I have done a bit of stamping. Autumn shows how beautiful it is to let go, and a leaf. I have another, this is a tip-in, and this is from another nature journal by Marjolaine Bastin, Dutch artist. and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Here we have a bit of Tim Holtz collage paper again, and I have colored that in a bit to make it look a bit more autumnal. Here's another book page from the original text block. Small umbrella up here. And I fussy cut that out of a book from Beatrix Potter. Here we see that something is edge punched, and if we flip it over we can see that it's a page from Flower Fairies, the Rosehip Fairy, and on that side we have the Blackberry Fairy. Journal on here, and you can journal on here. Here we have a page from a book about mushrooms from 1986, so it's a bit newer than the original book. We have a little Tim Holtz book cover as a tab. Here I have covered the text with some packing paper, and you can journal on that. In the center we have another field diary, and this is Autumn Leaves, and I think it's nice and vibrant colors. We have a page from the Candlefoot, Laura Christie Candlefoot book that I have, and this is what I was after. They're out with the turkeys. More of the mushroom book, because mushrooms and autumn belong together. This is a pocket. It's made out of tea dyed you know, the paper you have when you bake in the oven. And I have fussy cut mushroom and put it on top. This is sewn all around, and it is hinged onto the page like that. Inside it is a small mole on autumn leaves, and that's a journaling card. Here it says October, the 10th month of the Gregorian calendar. So it's a bit of an explanation what October is. We have some pumpkins, of course. And this is also from the original text block. We had black and white photos all over the place. Here I have just embossed some paper, and this is, it's an old flyleaf from a book, and I have torn it, and inside it is one of my little note cards. This is a note card or a journaling card from a scrapbooking pad, and I have added some extra journaling space to the back of it, and I just put a little paper clip here to keep it in place. And she is making pie, because in autumn you make lots of pies. Blueberries and pumpkin pie and apple pie and all the different stuff. We have more tea-dyed paper with a small mushroom stamp. An October calendar from 1942 and November. Lined paper. In the center we have a page from a folio from a 1948 book about orchids. And I have tipped in that postcard with mushrooms, or champignons in French. So extra journaling space once again. The back of the calendar pages. And more of the Edith Holden. This one is tipped in. And more of the Heather. I love using her pages. More mushrooms from the original text block. Here I have covered the text with some tissue paper, and we have a little rabbit down here. More tea dyed and more from the original text block. The images are gorgeous, even though they're black and white photographies. Or photographs. They're lovely. This is from a vintage school notebook. This is from the 1986 book about mushrooms. And here's another pocket that I made out of a French book page. Tore a piece of scrapbooking paper, a label, and a little fussy cut bird. We have a lovely tag that I made in my Use It or Lose It lately, and some embossed paper that I just rubbed some green dressing over. I can use that to do some collaging. I have more packing paper, and in the center is a lovely spread out of a book about Swedish school images from school books. And this is really autumn for me. In old days, vintage Sweden. They are harvesting, they are picking apples and different things. Another stamp with the mushroom. Here's another tip-in, once again from Argile Pastel. Love this image. The blackberries and the bird. And here's another paper bag. This one is tea-dyed. It's a tip-in, so you can journal on the back. It says October on top of it. And that's a Tim Holtz card. And here is another one of the tags that I made in my Use It or Lose It. And that fits right in there. Up here is another stamp, but it's a snail, and that is a Lavinia stamp. Great quality stamps. And he's looking down on something. Here we have a little Edith Holden tab with a eyelet on, and inside the eyelet is a little jangle with a laminated mushroom and a little bell and things. And this is made by my dear friend Carol Friendly Quail. She sent this and many fun things to me when I turned 50 earlier this year. So thank you, Carol, for sending a bit of you in this book. More tea-dyed pages, a small book page from 1942, a book about mushrooms that I have. And here I have done a little bit of experimenting. I have a vintage rag paper French book page, and I have done a bit of watercoloring around it. And I added this fussy cut with a little mice, field mice. Really cute. We have another stamp up here, the leaf this time. This is the old fly leaves from the text block, and actually gone through a bit there, but yeah. In the center we have actually scrapbooking paper from Elizabeth Designs book. Lovely colors. And here I did a bit of collaging with a mushroom, toadstool, and a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera. Another stamped leaf down there. And here's the pocket. Timmy Tiptoes, I believe, is the name of the book. And the squirrels are seeking shelter from the rain under an umbrella. It's Beatrix Potter. Here we have a vintage glassine envelope, and inside it is a faux cabinet card. I have actually just pasted together some prints, scans, and a bit of thicker paper, and that goes in there. Comes along with this book. Here's the back of the small book page, and I love the size of that. More tea-dyed paper and pages from the original text block. Mended a bit up here with some faux cellophane tape. Down here is a little leaf that is fussy cut, and this is actually fussy cut from my the magazine we have at work. That's comes out 4 times a year, and it's all about the field of work that I'm in. And I thought that was going to have to go in here. And we have some more mushrooms from the original text block, and some lined paper with a lovely deckled edge. More packing paper, and another snail. And in the center here we have, of course, Edith Holden, the chestnuts. And I didn't cut them off at the side, I just folded them in because I wanted all of the image to come around. I have a little postcard pocket here. And inside it is a journaling card that I made in a recent Use It or Lose It. Had to go in here. Colors are perfect. Back of the packing paper. And the lined paper. Here's the tip in with a thistle. Gorgeous. Lots of journaling space in this journal. 4 pages to put your own ephemera in, or whatever you want to do. Here's another tip in. No, it's not. It's a page from a small Flower Fairies book. This is the older fairy. We have lined paper. Another page from the book, alongside to Candleford, more harvest. Here is more mushrooms, how they are cut through and everything. And here's a little tab made out of 2 stamps. Swedish stamps, autumn style. The Sweet Chestnut Fairy. A small acorn is stamped down here. Here's a pocket made from scrapbooking paper. Inside it is another page from that book, small mushroom book, and someone has been drawing on it. You can make this into a journal card, you can fussy cut it, whatever you like. And we also have a frame that has been die cut out, and it's a Tim Holtz one. And that's made out of a vintage photo album. So it's vintage paper. On the back side we have a little collage here with a bird and a ticket, and it says October down there. And we have the back end papers. That is the autumn journal, the October. She's called October. And as I said, this one will come along. I'm gonna put some fun stuff in there. And 152 pages. She will be up in my Etsy shop as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you think. Isn't the cover just gorgeous? So beautiful. I will be back soon with another video. Thank you all so much for being with me. Bye.